What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to a brand new video here today for round number 12 of Apex Online Racing. Here today for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Coming into today's race, I think we have a 62 point lead in the championship. There have been a couple of stewards inquiries and answers and penalties handed down. I'll get to them later on, but yeah, coming into this, I was pretty hyped for this race, not gonna lie. Hungary, it's a track I've always liked. Pretty difficult to get right, but if you do, it's really nice and rewarding. So hopefully we can have a good race today, but let's go get into it, shall we? Alright, here we are in the garage for qualifying. Set to be a dry qualifying and a dry race. Strategy, I think it's going to be mediums to hards myself. I personally think anyone that wants to win the race, that's the strategy that they will go on. Some people obviously might try softs to hards maybe. Be interesting to see how many do exactly. I am dedicated to the medium to hard strategy, so hopefully it does pay off and not too many people go for the softs to hards, because then that could put us about mid-pack or something, and that might make things a bit awkward. But coming across the line for our first run on a set of hard tyres was fairly average, immediately beaten by Crossy, who is on the softs as well. So we went for a bit of a cool down lap, decided to go again, basically just to pass some time. The first lap rather, was just a bankering away. It was nothing special. There was quite a few mistakes in it. We come across the line, we're going to improve. We're not going to go pole position, but we're not too far off at all. I decided to cool off again and go for another lap just to see if I could better it, but coming around I decided to back out of it at the last minute. I could see I wasn't going to improve. I was literally out of fuel and out of ERS as well, so I decided, you know what, let's just come in, we'll chill in the garage for a couple of minutes and go out on a set of medium tyres at the end. You see Pete Crichton and Aaron currently P3 and P4. Crossy still provisional pole position on the softs, so it'd be interesting to see how many people follow the Racing Point driver and go for that strategy. Also, I want to apologise quickly if I do sound a little bit off. I am still recovering from, I guess you could say, maybe getting a chill or something. And yeah, I've had a couple of shocking headaches and my voice has been a little bit weird as well. So if I sound a little bit off at any point, I apologise for that. But just riding on board with the two Mercedes, I wanted to see what they were doing, whether they might try this alternate strategy. Not going to lie, I didn't think they would, but they're going out on the mediums very early, probably leaving themselves time to go on to the softs if they wanted to. We're going to go out with just not quite 5 minutes to go. Our teammate Stuart McKenzie is currently on provisional pole on the soft tyres as well, so our teammate is going to try this alternate strategy. As we go for our soft lap, actually no, that was our quote second out lap, but we're going to come around now. We're currently down in P8, so this lap needs to count and it needs to be a good one, otherwise we're probably not even going to start in the top 10. So let's go down into turn 1, hard on the brakes after the 100 metre board, get the nose in, clip the apex, short shift up into third gear, open DRS as soon as you can. Don't want to open it too early though, or you will get bucket loads of wheel spin and more than likely spin out. Big lock up on the left front, that's going to cost us probably a tenth or two, but we're still up by not quite 2/10 as we come to the start of the second sector. Throw it into this left-hander, so easy to corner cut and track extend on the exit there. We just get away with it that time. Coming up now to this little right-left section, we get through there fairly well. We could have got through there a little bit quicker, but it's not too bad. Through this section now, this has been a pretty decent lap. We can definitely do better through this long right hand, and now coming to the second sector, we're purple again. I think that's actually a glitch where it will say you're purple even though you're actually not. We're not on for a pole position lap at the moment, but hopefully this can at least put us on the front row with our teammate. Maybe give us a Williams front row lockout. We're about 7-8 tenths up around the final corner, up to the line, DRS open. What is this going to be? P2 on a 1:16.2. Pretty decent lap. Could have definitely done better. But as we cut to the end of the session now and go and have a look at the results screen, Unfortunately, we got knocked down to P5. Crossy improved and knocked us down to P5. But both Mercedes decided to go for the soft tyre strategy, which is quite interesting to see. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out for those two. But our teammate qualified P3, we have qualified P5, so pretty decent qualifying for the both of us. So let's go get into the race. Alright, here we are on the grid for round 12 of AOR Oceania Tier 1 on the PS4. Strategy, medium starts, fairly straightforward. Rain set to hit at the end of the race as well, so we could find ourselves on the intermediate tyres before this race is over. So that could make things quite interesting as well. I'd done absolutely no wet running, so when I actually saw that, I was kind of a little bit worried, not going to lie. But
Understood.
as you guys have seen in previous races, I have said that probably God knows how many times that I've done no wet running, and when we do make the switch onto the intermediate tyres, we do seem to have a lot of pace, so hopefully that can happen again here today. Probably not if, but when we make the switch to inters, hopefully we can have some solid pace on them. Steward's inquiry, as you can see here, this was the one from Britain about 3 rounds ago. We finally got an answer, and as you can see there, both our teammate and Darren Levin with the 3-second time penalty added, so we do actually get the win from Britain, which is nice, not going to lie, but that gives us a nice little extra couple of points in the championship. But we can't really get comfortable, and yeah, we've still got a long way to go. Anything can happen, and yeah, we can't get complacent. We are on top at the moment, but it's easy enough to get knocked down. One little mistake or something could come back to bite us really badly, and just like that, we could be on the back foot. Just like with the click of the fingers, we could be on the back foot. So hopefully we can avoid any incidents on this opening lap, but let's go get into it. Waiting for the last couple of cars to reform now. I think someone actually spun out at the back there, so we had to wait on them for a little bit. I'm not sure who that was, but alright, here we go. Awaiting 5 red lights for round 12 of AOR, and here we go. Looks like a pretty decent launch. Our teammate Stuart McKenzie with an absolutely ripping start. He's already dispatched of Darren Levin, now trying to take the lead off Pete Crichton. We're going to try to go around the outside of Darren, but he doesn't want to borrow that. He dives his teammate. Stuart tries to get a switch back. He's alongside. Darren just kind of shoves him off. I don't know what he was doing there. We're up the inside of our teammate now. Send it up the inside into turn 2. Up into P3. We get the move done. Darren a bit tail happy on the exit of turn 2 there. That was a real, well, I think that was pretty, well, not cool, to be honest. I mean, I've seen my teammate's footage, and he was clearly alongside, and Darren's basically just shoved him in the grass. So that whether something will be done about that, I'm not sure. I can definitely tell, and I can definitely say that our teammate was none too impressed. But for us, it's been a bit of a gift, I suppose, in a way. We're up to P3 already. Cutting onto the start of lap 2. Darren going for a big boy dive on the inside of his teammate, and the two Mercedes actually collide in turn 1 there. This is getting quite interesting. We're going to try look for an avenue on these two if we can. Going to try and go around the outside of Pete if we can. We got the inside for this next corner. He drives clean off the track though and maintains the position. I think that's a bit dodgy there, not going to lie, to be honest. We were ahead. He drove clean off the track around the outside of us and got the position back. I don't think that's on. That's just my opinion. I'm curious, you know, you guys, as always, let me know what you guys think about any incidents and whatnot that goes on here. But cutting on to lap 3, we're going to dive up the inside of Pete into turn 1. Bit of a half-assed dive there, not going to lie, but he just leaves us enough room to avoid making contact and stay in P3 for now. Not going to lie, in this first part of the race, I did want to kind of get a move on and get ahead of these two, because I felt like the soft tyres at any time, basically from now, would really start to die off. So on the lap 4, down into turn 1, we're going to try to go around the outside of Pete this time. Tries to squeeze us out wide, doesn't want to bar of us. But I decided, you know what, at this point in time, I was like, no, I've had enough. I'm making the move, whether you like it or not. We go around the outside, get the job done. That's up into P2. Next up, Darren 11 for the lead. Hopefully we can make a move on the Mercedes driver. Cutting on to the end of lap 4, on to lap 5. Our teammate Stuart McKenzie is right under the back of Pete Crichton as well. We're going to try and look for a move on Darren. Round the outside into turn 1. We've actually outbraked ourselves here. So has Darren. And kind of gives us a little tap on the front wing there. I was worried I had front wing damage for a moment, but thankfully that was not the case. But I felt like that was a bit stupid from Darren there, not going to lie. I mean, I thought that he would have known that I'd outbrake myself, but instead, I presume just because he wanted to keep the position, that he tried to outbrake us, and in turn run wide and nearly fell off the track himself. But getting on to lap 6 now, we get a good run out of the final corner. We're up the inside. He's lagging around a little bit as well, which is a bit awkward. He was a ghost car there momentarily from what I could see in the mirrors. But we get the move done. That's up into the lead. Our teammate is up into P3 as well, as I think Pete Crichton actually peeled into the pits on that last lap. So, be interesting to see where our teammate can end up compared to the two Mercedes. X Revolution has left the session, fastest lap of the race from us on a 20.2. I believe he retired in the pits and left. No safety car, thankfully. Cutting on to lap 7. Darren 11 peels in. He's had enough of the soft compound tyres. And I believe he's probably going to come in for a set of hards. Our teammate stays out with Spilly right behind him as well. And I think it's Swaggy right behind those two. So that's probably going to be a battle to keep an eye on. Spilly and Swaggy obviously coming to blows last time out in Germany. And definitely not the best of friends, that much I do know. Going on to lap 9, fastest lap of the race by Pete Crichton, I think that was. I decided to try and respond, so I upped the fuel mix, up the ARS, and there we go, fastest lap, take it back. And that didn't last very long, however. Darren 11 on a 19.7 takes the fastest lap back. And at this point, I was honestly thinking, you know what, I want to come in a little bit earlier. And thankfully, from the sounds of it, they actually got stuck in traffic. Both Mercedes and our teammate were stuck in quite a bit of traffic, which you might just be able to catch a glimpse of on the minimap there in the bottom left corner. So hopefully, by coming in a lap earlier than what we were scheduled, we're going to come out ahead of all these guys and maintain the provisional lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. You can see a couple of guys going past. There goes LJV, there goes Plebs. Andre, I think we're going to come out ahead of him. And there are the two Mercedes and Stuart McKenzie back there behind them. So we've actually got a fairly decent buffer to all those guys behind us. Cutting on to the end of the lap, we've caught up to Plebs now. Hopefully he doesn't make things too awkward for us. He defends to the inside, which is quite odd, not going to lie. We brake really late. Doesn't really leave us much room there. We're getting a legal overtake, I think. Yes, we do. And that's all kind of a little bit messy there. Not going to lie, at the heat of the moment, I honestly thought, nope, I'm coming through either way. But after thinking about it post-race, I probably could have waited until the front straight. But I really was in a hurry. I wanted to get a move on. DRS on LJB, down into turn 1, up the inside of the McLaren driver. That's up into P2. Move done. And there we go. Eye contrast in the provisional lead of the race. I think he's on the mediums as well. I think. And he's coming in now on the end of lap 15. Looks like we're going to set a fastest lap here. And we do. 19.2. There we go. So provisionally, we're on course with 26 points. Coming around, fastest lap of the race once again. And this is becoming a little bit of a trait for us, not going to lie. Just getting into a rhythm and just being able to set blisteringly fast lap times. And we're looking good. Team radio.
Prix seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Alright, so giving us absolutely no useful information, just like he did last time out in Germany. So that's a bit annoying. Our teammate Stuart McKenzie into the pits. Unfortunately, I think he got some damage whilst trying to negotiate some of that traffic back in the midfield. And unfortunately, he retires from the race. Had to pit for a new front wing. He was down in like 17th or something. And then whilst trying to make up ground, I think he made a little mistake and spun around, and he basically decided he'd had enough at that point, and yeah, he retires. So not going to be a points finish for him today, which is a little bit unfortunate. Definitely had the pace to probably maybe pick up a podium as well. But anyway, there's always next time, I guess. But coming on to lap 30, the rain is starting to fall at the Hungarian. The track is getting a little bit slippery. We've still got pretty reasonable grip on these hard tyres, but as we come around, I think we're going to get a strategy change any minute, and we do.
Okay, copy that.
So we're going to come in now for a set of intermediate tyres. About 5 laps from the end, I was thinking about maybe staying out, not going to lie. But then I thought, no, if we get the strategy change, DRS is probably going to be disabled. The hard tyres are really wearing out as well, and I thought, you know what, if I come in, everyone else is probably going to follow. So it's probably the better way to go. So we come in for a set of intermediate tyres. Both Mercedes have come in as well. And unfortunately, they're going to have to double stack as well. The DRS has been disabled, so we've made that call at just the right time. And Swaggy looks like he might jump both Mercedes. Pete Crichton is going to get held up really badly here because he's going to have to double stack behind Darren. And that's really not going to work out well for the Mercedes driver. He loses a bucket load of time. I think he's down in P6 or something at the moment. And that's really unfortunate for him, especially since he is basically our championship rival. And yeah, Darren, I think this is actually his last race as well in AR for the time being due to real life commitments. I believe he has decided to hang the helmet up, so kind of a little bit puzzled there in a way as to why he didn't move it over and let his teammate have the priority in the pits. Obviously, being that Pete is basically the man that is fighting us in the championship. But we've survived here at the Hungarian. We've survived and thrived. We got the lead at the early point of the race, set some blistering laps when we had some clean air after all the soft runners come in. We come out in provisional P1 after the pit stops, maintain the lead, build a gap, and we're able to maintain that gap. Had some pretty reasonable pace these last couple of laps in the intermediate conditions as well, so we were extending the gap all the time. And this has just been another really solid race from us, really solid drive, minimal mistakes, and we're going to come around the final corner for another win in AOR here at the Hungarian. Really solid drive, really good pace, really happy with this. Another win, get in there. Alright, so there we go guys, that has been round 12 of Apex Online Racing here today for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Really, really good race from us, solid pace from start to finish, and we made this strategy work, and we come away with another win to extend our lead in the championship, so very, very happy. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed, remember to smash that like button, subscribe so you can stay tuned for plenty more. And until next video, I'll see you guys next time.